Good morning. Today is the 22nd day of August. Time is 9 o'clock. All three commissioners are present. Purpose of the meeting is our weekly open business meeting. You can introduce yourself for the record. Starting over here, Randall.
Bob Carney, Operations.
Stephanie Kelly, HR. John Bridge, Clerk's Office.
Bob Perkins, Ada County Procurement.
Josh Brown, Ada County Operations.
Saul Seiler, Ada County Elections.
IT guy.
Ether Bordy, Clerk's Office.
Richard Beck, Development Services.
Beth Mon, Treasurer.
We had a new guy just walk in.
Sean Rain.
All right. All right, Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, there are.
Okay, all right.
I move to amend the agenda to remove item 4.1, agreement number 15277 until such time as it's brought back before the board for consideration. And I don't know if you want to explain what that is.
I'll second that.
All right, you heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have some unfinished business. I'll accept the motion to remove the unfinished business from the table.
Mr. Chair, I move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. It's Development Services. We have before us, application number 2023-00644. SPRHPEP, James Wiley. Right?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This was a public hearing item that was set over from the August 9th public hearing after, if you recall, this was the Whiskey Ridge subdivision, large foothills development with, I think it was 7 40-acre lots. And after considering testimony, there was a neighboring property owner, Miss Phillips, I believe her name was, who had some concerns with access or an existing access easement she had to her property.
That's right, there's a little easement coming by with a private road.
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Chairman. The developer is proposing to put a new private road in the same location as her easement. So you direct staff to modify condition approval number 4 to make sure that the design and the easement and the use of that new private road wouldn't preclude Ms. Phillips from enjoying her easement rights that she already has. So staff has prepared a new condition for your consideration. This public hearing item, the public hearing's closed and it's open for you to make a decision to approve or deny or ask for more information.
So all those issues that we discussed have been addressed in the...
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, that's correct. Yep. It's our understanding that the applicant and Ms. Phillips have already had conversations and are happy with the proposed language and ready to move forward.
Well, okay. Any questions from the commission? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve application number 2023-00644 SPRHDFP James Wiley, based on the revised findings of fact and conclusions of law contained in the staff report and the testimony provided in the August 9th 2023 public hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes. Okay, we'll be on, moving on to new business. We have a couple of resolutions. I will open the public hearing on resolution 2903. A resolution adjusting the Ada County budget to reflect the receipt of unscheduled revenue to the Ada County Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund budget. All right, is there any discussion on this?
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I can speak to it. This is pretty straightforward. We received our first payment of $237,100, and our second payment has come in of equal value. It's sitting in the same budget line item, and it's pretty straightforward. Don, any high level things I'm missing?
No, it's just the second tranche or second and final tranche payment of the original award, $237,865. Very flexible uses. We have already allocated some of this for the elections office remodel and some IT equipment corner, so this is just
Yes.
putting that extra amount in.
Which tribe do we have in Ada County
We
that
don't.
qualifies us?
That's right.
Local
So this was
tribal.
also based on federal land.
Oh,
Um, in the county region. So this was determined by the federal government, not us.
I get that.
And they determined we had X amount of federal land in our boundaries, so we get these funds.
Well, we do. We got a great big federal courthouse over here.
Yes.
Is there a, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Is there a restriction on where we use the funds?
No, it's very flexible, so it's any county, typical county service. So we like these types of funds. It's unfortunate it's not a larger amount.
Okay. Well, some counties, it's a lot, it's a lot. In some counties, it is. It's a big amount. But for us, it's a small amount, but we're putting it to good use. Okay, I will close the public hearing on resolution number 2903. And I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 2903 is listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay?
Okay, I will now open the public hearing on resolution 2904, a resolution for destruction of records, election records. Do we have any discussion or any comment on the destruction of election records?
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I'd love to hand it over to our Director of Elections, Saul Seiler, but quickly wanted to say that they do a phenomenal job keeping their tidy space as compliant and within statutory regulations with the destroying of any of the products. So they're doing a phenomenal job. Saul, if I could ask you to add to that, sir.
Of course, thank you. Mr. Chair, Commissioners, this is a semi-annual destruction. So we are working to be on a cycle where we do a wintertime destruction and a summer destruction. Essentially, we have such an accumulation of volumes of records that the law allows us to destroy these records at given various time frames. So this has been reviewed by the prosecutor's office, and everyone has signed off that these records are eligible for destruction. And so this would allow us to move ahead and free up to 19 pallet spaces within our space. So as you can see, it's a lot of volume that we work with.
So everyone signed off except the board.
Everyone signed off. You guys are the decision makers here, so.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Quickly.
Go ahead.
So these are precise things that are described or defined in the law, right? The timeframes, I mean.
Correct. So under Title 34, 217 is the exact site. The records can range from anywhere from permanent retention, which is voter registration cards, to 60 days retention, depending on the type of the record. So we, after any given cycle, we segregate everything, we box them up, and we have them on their own destruction cycles. They're all clearly labeled so we know what they are, but it is spelled out in law specifically what can be destroyed when. So the cycles are permanent, 5-year, 2-year, 1 year, and 60 day.
Unless there's some complication in terms of that particular election.
Correct, yeah. I mean, every now and again, for instance, we did, and we've even made the decision that we're maintaining all of our paper ballots from the 2020 November election, just so we don't get any accusations of not having everything that was used to tabulate in that particular election. So even though they're eligible for destruction, have been for quite some time, we've made the decision in working with Trent and the prosecutors to retain those just out of an abundance of caution, so.
That's what I wanted the public to, when they saw that on the agenda, I wanted them to understand
Yeah.
the process. Thank you.
Of course, Mr.
And you're freeing up 16 pallets?
19 pounds.
19 pallets.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of space, isn't it?
That's a lot of space, Mr. Chair.
All right. And where do the records go when you destroy them? They go far?
They actually get shredded through a records destruction company. So they go through a shredding process that we oversee with the records destruction. We actually load them in ourselves. We have dual custody throughout the process, so we always have 2 people there. And it's an all-day event, that's for
Well,
sure.
good. Well, good. Any more discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll close the public hearing on resolution number 2904, and I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve resolution 2904 as listed on the agenda.
Second.
All right, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Sal. All right, we'll open the public hearing on resolution number 2905, resolution for the auction of personal property owned by Ada County. Any comments? Yes.
Chair, Commissioners, so this is an auction for development services. They have a rolling file cabinet system that they would like to get rid of, and so we'd like to auction it off for them. We'll free up some space for Development Services. And it's a good day whenever we can get rid of file cabinets and replace it with electronic records, so.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on, resolution number 2905. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve resolution number 2905 is listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, moving on, moving on, we are up to procurement. We're gonna open bid number 23068. ARPA, Ada County Elder Street RTU replacement. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman,
Good morning.
Commissioners. Ada County Procurement has a couple items under new business today, and the first of which is the opening of bid 23068, ARPA Ada County Elder Street RTU replacement. We received 3 responses for this project, and Evan has our bonfire procurement system queued up if you're ready for us to open.
Yes, we're ready.
All right, let's open them up, Evan. So, Mr. Chair, the spreadsheet will be coming up on the screen here shortly. Today, we're looking for the name of the bidder, and also in that bid, there's gonna be a $65,000 contingency added in on that. All right, so there's our spreadsheet up there. Our first bidder is American Chiller Service, and they have a total bid amount of $1,146,816. Our second bidder is Intelligent Design Mechanical, and they have a total bid amount of $677,136. And our third and final bidder is TVR Incorporated, and they have a total bid amount of $1,012,000. So those are our 3 bidders. We will need a little bit of time to review these bids. And we'd like to request that this be tabled for award recommendation to the August 29th, 2023 open business meeting.
Okay, well, there's a lot on the table there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's some discrepancies up there that we'll have to check out on there. You'll see that the owner's contingency, one of the bidders put $605,000. That's not going to be correct. So we'll have to vet some of these out here, so.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask that question as well. That's part of what you're gonna be reviewing, right?
Yep.
I'll review.
Yep.
He'll come back with a letter.
Yep, we'll come back on August 29th with the recommendation for you.
Okay. Got a motion?
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll move to table the award of bid 23068, ARPA Ada County Elder Street RTU replacement to August 29th, 2023.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Our second item is the review of bids received and award consideration for Public Works projects, $50,000 to $200,000, and that's for bid 23075, the Ada County Public Safety Building underground fuel tank removal. And Ada County Procurement received 1 response for this project and would like to submit this letter of the bid received and a recommendation for your consideration.
Okay, did you read the letter?
I'd be happy to. It's a letter dated August 22nd, 2023 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 23075. Dear members of the board, Ada County Procurement received 1 response for bid 23075. The following is the name of the bidder and the bid amount submitted. It's the bidder is Olympic Technical Services Incorporated, and they had a total bid amount of $56,000. After reviewing the bid submitted, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract for bid 23075 to Olympus Technical Services Incorporated as the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $56,500.
Okay, any questions? Not, I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the recommendation of the evaluation committee and award bid 23075, Ada County Public Safety Building underground fuel tank removal to Olympus Technical Services, Inc.
That's correct, yes.
for $56,500.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir. All right, next up, we have operations with the change order. Change order number 1, Ada County Public Safety LED lighting upgrade, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, it's just a excess contingency that we didn't use for the project, so just return to the budget.
Okay, $3,209. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve change order number 1, Ada County Public Safety Building LED lighting upgrade 2023, as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, moving on, we have a number of licenses, including one peddler's license, 36 catering permits, 4 new licenses, and 3 transfers. Any question or discussion? If not, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the one peddler license and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll accept a motion on the catering permits, new licenses, and license transfers.
I'll move to approve the remaining licenses as listed on the agenda, including 36 catering permits, 4 new licenses, and 2 license transfers, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have with us clerk's office.
Chair.
You got us a good report?
Chair, Commissioners, a quick update for you. Yes, sir, I wanted to gladly announce that both our clerk, Trent Triple, and our Director of Elections, Saul Seiler, are en route for a flight. They're heading to Orlando, Florida. They will graduate with SARA National Elections Training, and they will be 2 of only a handful of individuals in the entire state that have obtained that. So it's been 2 years in the making, and they keep driving our elections team even further. So good job to those 2. Wanted to also announce that both Clerk Trent Triple and myself attended Salmon, Idaho's annual Association of Counties conference last week, and we had some very, very healthy discussion around Supreme Court, elections, spent a lot of time with our previous clerk and Secretary of State Phil and his team, and lots of discussions on recording and how to make it more interactive with users. So more to come from some of our to-dos, but nonetheless, it was a good week in Salmon with our peers.
What kind of discussions on the Supreme Court elections did you have?
Chair, Commissioners, some pretty heated conversations, and it was nice to see that both the association and all of the county clerks are in alignment, that we need to have a voice at the table, and that whenever we hear information that we will receive networks from the Supreme Court, that we need to push pause, get an ear from them, and voice some of the concerns. So they've done a good job with the initial letter, met with the Supreme Court Chief Justice last week, and we're starting to create that conduit, so to speak, so that at least we can have a voice. So it's moving in the right direction considering.
All right, well, good. Anything else for us?
No, sir.
All right, well, you tell Clerk Triple and Saul Seiler to have fun in Orlando
I will do that.
and
Thank
learn, bring back lots of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
And be careful of hurricanes.
Yeah. All right, moving on, we have the Claims Journal. I'll accept the motion on the Claims Journal.
Mr. Chairman, I move to authorize payment of the Claims Journal dated August 18th, 2023.
Second.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have personnel actions. I'll accept the motion on the personnel actions.
I'll move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda, and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Next up, we have the Assessor's Office. Do we have anyone from the Assessor's Office here? Nope. Doesn't look like it. We'll move on then. We have with us our distinguished treasurer, Ms. Besmar.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. So the Treasurer's Office is focused on the two large projects facing our office this year. One is the financial implementation of their financial software. So a handful of staff is testing cash as we speak. So I'm anxious to go join them and see how it goes.
How do you test cash?
Test cash management. Okay. We also do test cash
Oh,
through
okay.
different machines. So this is testing the reconciliation, the management of the reconciliations to the bank. And so working on that.
How's that coming? That's the UAT.
Correct.
How's that coming?
I'll know in a few hours.
You'll know.
Yeah. And then the other project that we're working heavily on is administering House Bill 292. So we're meeting regularly with your IT department, the assessor, clerk, tax commission. November sounds like a long ways away, but in my mind, it's like tomorrow. So we are working aggressively to work on that.
Well, House Bill 292 has a lot of subjects in it,
A lot of
Yes.
moving parts.
including repeal of March primaries. Or March elections, I should say. All right,
So does our new software, is there any way that we can anticipate what they're gonna be giving us that will work with our new computer?
So regarding
Yeah, our new implementation of our financial processes. Is it gonna be complicated, I guess is what I'm saying.
with the financial system or the tax relief?
Both,
Okay.
as we work together.
Well, actually, they're gonna be, for the most part, managed in separate systems. The tax relief is for the most part in our tax software.
Okay.
Yeah, so, there's minimal integrations with the financial system on that.
Good, well,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't want that to be complicated,
Yeah,
implementation of our, that was my question.
yeah, they're for the most part in separate systems.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving along, we have, next up, we have approval of minutes. Minutes from the public hearing on 8/9/23 and minutes of our last open business meeting. I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we now have Expo Idaho. We have authorization of commercial exhibitor agreements and one interim event. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve and ratify the two commercial exhibitor agreements signed by Commissioner Beck on August 16th, 2023, and approve one interim event agreement as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we have the Parks and Waterways. We have one event for next May. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the One Barber Park Education and Event Center agreement as listed on the agenda and authorize the chairman to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And now we have several agreements, 55 to be exact, and these are mostly renewal agreements that we already have. Because we do this we have to do this every year. Our agreements are only good until the end of our fiscal year. So I'd accept the motion on the 55 agreements.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to accept the 55 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have the weekly indigent items. I'll accept the motion on the weekly indigent items.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the recommendations of the indigent service staff as listed on the summary of cases dated August 22nd, 2023, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay. You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Is there any other business needs to be brought before the board while we're here? Hearing none, we're in recess. Well, good morning. Today is the 22nd day of August. The time is 9:25. The Board of Commissioners sitting as the Board of Ada County Emergency Medical Services Agreement has an open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. Also with us.
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Ethan Bordy with the clerk's office.
And we have IT guy. All right, Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, they're not.
All right, first item up is Claims Journal. I'll accept a motion on the Claims Journal.
I move to authorize payment of claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated August 18th, 2023 regarding EMS expenditures.
Second the motion.
Yeah, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Next up is personnel actions. I'll
Chairman,
accept
I
the motion. Go ahead. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
Second.
Okay. You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next up, we have the approval of the minutes of the meeting dated 8/15/23. I'll accept the motion on that.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Now we have an EMS update from our distinguished director.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, good morning. I spent the last week in Johnson City, Tennessee, teaching a field training and evaluation program to several different agencies out there from around northeastern Tennessee. So that was kind of interesting. Monday night, I was laying in bed and I thought we had an Amber Alert, but it turned out it was a tornado warning. So what do you do when you're in a hotel during a tornado warning? But it ended up staying several miles north of us, so, but it was a good class. We did suspend or actually halted our squad ambulance pilot project with Boise Fire. And Chief Niemeyer and I will be updating the board and city council on the project. The project was a success. We needed to make some changes, and dispatch just didn't have the bandwidth to be able to implement the changes. So we suspended the program after 30 days, but it was a success. I think that we proved that the concept works, and we'll be coming to you all with a report on that, Chief Niemeyer and I. We are extremely busy this week with the fair and several other standbys. Saturday we have the fair going on, a soccer game, and the Gowan Thunder Air Show all at the same time. So stretching our resources thin, but that's this time of year that kind of thing happens. So big thanks to my folks, my personnel for making all that kind of thing happen for the community. So a lot going on there. Mark Babson did a ride along with some of Congressman Simpson's staff last week. Sounds like that was a success. And then I believe it's next Tuesday, Elke Shaw Tulloch with Department of Health and Welfare along with Dr. Whitty will be doing a ride along with Mark to learn about EMS and how everything works and that kind of thing. Outside of that, we have been testing personnel for COVID down at the fair, and we've caught a few cases. And the reason we do that is, they're all kind of packed into a room when they're not responding on calls, and we don't want to get a bunch of people sick. So we've caught a few people that were actually asymptomatic but positive. So it's still around. And I read last week there is a new variant that they're watching that they know is in the U.S. now. I think it's BA or B2.5 new variant. So they haven't learned a lot about what symptoms or severity it causes yet, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Well, COVID has been around for decades.
Yeah. Well, the coronavirus is, it's the coronavirus is a
Right.
cold virus. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know why. I'm reading in the news, some organizations are actually trying to implement new lockdowns and new.
Oh boy.
Come on, don't do
Let's
this.
not do that again.
Particularly in as much as it wasn't very effective anyway. So, okay. All right, so anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
What about our effluent on the testing? Have they seen new rises in that, or?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Ada County, just before I left for Tennessee, had been trending upward for a while. They were still the Omicron variants, not that new variant. And the wastewater data seems like it's about 3 weeks behind on their testing, so we'll see here in the next few weeks if we start seeing that new variant here or not. But
Do they test wastewater for the cold virus?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, the 400 or 240 or whatever cold virus is.
Yeah, so many different types.
Yeah.
I will say, while I was in the southeast, they're having a pretty big outbreak down there. In fact, the map I was looking at, the entire southeast is the kind of dark purple color where they're seeing 20% increases in number of cases. But and while we were down there, we heard about a number of personnel that were out of service for a week or so with COVID. But hopefully it stays down there and doesn't make its way up here in the same way.
Well, I have seen some just acquaintances of mine that have said they'd come down with the COVID, but they're fine.
Yeah, this last strain seems like it's pretty mild.
Yeah. In fact, one of them delayed it was a grandma that was up there to visit her family. And she delayed going back home to California until she'd gotten over it, but apparently she got over it. Anyway, all right, anything else?
That is it.
So it's good to see that not only the state of Idaho is recognizing our EMS here in Ada County, but Tennessee, so
Yes, Mr. Chair.
the value of
That's
your
a
expertise.
interesting conversation that I had with some of the folks at the leadership out there. Tennessee, I believe it was 2 years ago, passed the law making EMS an essential service. And they did kind of what we don't want to do here is they did that without putting any funding or anything behind it. And the agencies down there are struggling a lot worse than we are with hiring people. They just can't find paramedics. And their starting salary is, about $30,000 less a year than it is here. Of course, a little cheaper to live down there, but while I was out there, I just looked, and on Zillow, it's cheaper, but not that much cheaper. So that's really why the task force that we participate in, we're trying to do this right and not have the legislature pass it as an essential service without, backing it up with some funding and ways of helping it become an essential service.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other business need to be brought before the board? Hearing none, we're in recess.
Thank you.
Thank you.